Did you know that 92% of people over 60 who suffer a heart attack completely miss the warning signs? These aren't always dramatic chest pains like in the movies. Sometimes they're subtle, everyday signals your body is giving you, and ignoring them could be deadly. Most people think a heart attack starts with a sudden, crushing pain in the chest, just like in the movies. But the truth is, for 92% of people over 60, the warning signs are far quieter and far more dangerous. You might be feeling them right now without even realizing it. A little more tired than usual, shortness of breath when climbing stairs you've climbed for years, or a strange discomfort in your jaw, your back, or even your stomach, something you blame on bad sleep or indigestion. But here's the scary part. These small signals are your heart whispering for help. And if you ignore them, one day it may start screaming. Think about it. 92% miss these early warnings. They don't go to the doctor. They wait. Furthermore, they hope it passes. And then one morning they don't get a second chance. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what those signs are, why they're so easy to miss, and how to protect yourself starting today, because a heart attack is not something you can schedule, but it's something you can prevent.
Let's look at two men, James and Robert. Both are 64 years old. Both are living in the same quiet neighborhood. From the outside, their lives look almost identical, but what happens over the next year will be completely different. Morning in James's kitchen, warm sunlight through the window. James starts his day early. The coffee is brewing, and the smell fills his small but cozy kitchen. He sits at the table with the morning paper, flipping through the headlines. But today, something feels off. He's a little more tired than usual, and walking up the stairs earlier made him breathe harder than he expected. He remembers it happened a few times this month, a strange heaviness in his chest and shortness of breath. Instead of ignoring it, James listens to that quiet voice inside that says this isn't normal. That afternoon, he calls his doctor and schedules a checkup. A few days later, tests reveal early signs of blocked arteries. It's not a heart attack yet, but it's close. The doctor recommends lifestyle changes, medication, and regular monitoring. James follows every instruction. He changes his diet. He starts walking every evening. 6 months later, his heart is stronger, his energy is back, and his risk of a major heart attack has dropped dramatically. Robert's living room, TV on, dim light. Just down the street, Robert is sitting in his recliner watching TV. He's felt the same symptoms James did, shortness of breath, unusual fatigue, even a dull ache in his back some mornings. But he laughs it off, saying, "I'm just getting older. Happens to everyone." He doesn't mention it to his wife. He doesn't see a doctor. Instead, he powers through his days, masking the discomfort with extra cups of coffee and painkillers. The symptoms keep coming, sometimes mild, sometimes stronger, but Robert keeps telling himself he'll check it out later. One cold morning in December, Robert is shoveling snow from his driveway. Halfway through, he feels an intense pressure in his chest, unlike anything before. He drops the shovel, clutching his chest, gasping for air. Within minutes, his wife calls 911. When the ambulance arrives, Robert is pale, sweating, and barely conscious. It's a massive heart attack. The doctors manage to save his life, but his recovery is long, painful, and his heart will never be the same. The difference between James and Robert wasn't luck. It was a choice. James listened to the warning signs, subtle changes that 92% of people over 60 miss. Robert ignored them until it was almost too late. Your body is always talking to you. The question is, are you listening? Because when it comes to your heart, a moment of action today can give you years of tomorrow. Research shows that heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide, and in older adults, The early signs can be easy to miss. Reduced blood flow to the heart causes small changes in energy, breathing, and even digestion, long before a heart attack happens. Let's break this down with solid science. According to the World Health Organization, ischemic heart disease, commonly known as coronary artery disease, is the world's #1 killer, accounting for nearly 13% of all deaths globally. A heart attack, or myocardial infarction, starts with a buildup of plaque in the coronary arteries. When that plaque ruptures, blood flow to the heart is blocked, causing tissue damage. Classic symptoms like crushing chest pain exist, but up to 30% of patients don't experience them. Instead, subtle signs are common, especially in older adults. You'll often hear about shortness of breath, lightheadedness, nausea, or fatigue, symptoms that even occur before chest discomfort. Then there's the silent heart attack. These go completely unnoticed. The Cleveland Clinic estimates that 22 to 60% of all heart attacks fall into this category. Yet these silent events can cause serious damage. A 2018 study found that silent heart attack survivors had mortality rates just as high as those who experienced recognized attacks. In older adults, it gets trickier. The National Institute on Aging reports that symptoms can include confusion, general weakness, or disorientation, sometimes more pronounced than physical pain. Lastly, many warning signs show up weeks or even months in advance. Things like persistent fatigue, back or jaw pain, or indigestion are not to be ignored. Let's talk about 3 warning signs that people over 60 often ignore, signs that could save your life if you pay attention. And these aren't dramatic Hollywood-style collapse moments. They're often quiet, subtle, and easy to dismiss. First, unusual shortness of breath during normal activities. You're walking to the mailbox, climbing a few stairs, or just carrying groceries from the car. Things you've done for years without thinking. But lately, you feel winded, like you've just run a race. This isn't just being out of shape. According to the American Heart Association, shortness of breath, especially during activities you could previously handle, can indicate reduced blood flow to the heart. This means your heart muscle isn't getting enough oxygen, often because of narrowing arteries. The danger here is that people chalk it up to aging or being tired, and they keep pushing through. But in reality, this could be the first signal that your heart is under stress. Second, persistent fatigue or weakness with no clear reason. Fatigue that doesn't go away, even after a good night's sleep, is a red flag, especially if you're normally active. The National Institutes of Health notes that in older adults, heart disease can present as chronic tiredness because your heart is struggling to pump efficiently. Your muscles and brain aren't getting enough oxygen-rich blood, so you feel drained all the time. What makes this tricky is that fatigue is common with many conditions, but if there's no obvious cause, no recent illness, no medication changes, no overexertion, it's worth having your heart checked. Third, discomfort in the chest, neck, jaw, or upper back that comes and goes. This is where many people get caught off guard. They expect heart pain to be sharp, crushing, and right in the center of the chest. But in reality, heart-related discomfort can be much more subtle. It can feel like pressure, fullness, burning, or even a mild ache that radiates to the jaw, neck, or upper back. The Mayo Clinic warns that these symptoms can come and go over days or weeks before a major heart event. And here's the dangerous part. Because the pain passes, people assume it's nothing, maybe indigestion or muscle strain. But that window could be your body's cry for help. If you notice even one of these signs, don't wait. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention stresses that early detection can be the difference between life and death. Get checked immediately. It's far better to have a doctor tell you it's nothing than to wish you'd acted sooner. Remember, your heart doesn't whisper without a reason. When it speaks, listen. Here's the beautiful truth. Protecting your heart doesn't always require grand gestures or impossible discipline. Sometimes it's the small, faithful steps that keep life beating strong. First, walk 20 to 30 minutes every day. Imagine the soft rhythm of your footsteps becoming a quiet conversation with your heart. Each step is a promise, an unspoken vow to carry yourself into tomorrow. You don't need to run marathons or push yourself to exhaustion. Just walk. In the morning light, in the cool hush of evening, or under the gentle drizzle of rain. With every walk, you're telling your heart, I am here for you. I will take care of you. Second, eat more fresh vegetables and less processed food. Think of your plate as a garden. Fill it with colors that nature painted herself. Deep green spinach, bright orange carrots, the scarlet blush of ripe tomatoes. These foods are not just fuel, they are whispers of life to your cells, repairing, strengthening, renewing. And when you choose them over processed, packaged meals, you're saying to your body, I choose what gives life, not what steals it. Third, monitor your blood pressure and cholesterol regularly. Your heart speaks a language we can measure, numbers that tell stories of stress or peace. Checking your blood pressure and cholesterol is not fear. It's friendship with your future self. It's like tending to a clock, making sure time runs smoothly. Because when the numbers are right, your days can stretch longer and your moments can be richer. Prevention begins with awareness, but it grows with love. Love for life, for the people who would miss your laughter, for the mornings you have yet to wake to. Your heart is not just an organ. It is the keeper of your stories, your dreams, your quiet joys. So, walk with kindness toward yourself. Eat in a way that honors the life you've been given. Listen to the whispers of your own body before they become cries. And remember, the longest journeys are often sustained by the smallest steps. Before we close, I want to speak to you not just as a voice on your screen, but as a fellow human being walking this same fragile path of life. If you are still here, still listening, it means something deep inside you knows that your health is precious, that your time, our time, is not guaranteed. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here because I care about what happens to you after this video ends. Likewise, I care about the moments you haven't lived yet, the laughter you'll share, the hands you'll hold, the sunrises you'll watch, and the quiet evenings when your heart still beats strong and steady. Furthermore, I care about the years you could still fill with love, with meaning, with stories worth telling. Before you scroll away, I want you to remember this. Avoiding a heart attack isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Imagine yourself 5, 10, even 20 years from now. Still walking with ease, still laughing with friends, still holding the hands of the people you love. That future version of you will look back at this moment, today, and be grateful that you made one small choice: to protect your heart. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. Maybe today, you choose to walk for 10 minutes after lunch. Maybe you'll finally book that health check you've been putting off. Maybe you call an old friend and share a laugh, because joy itself is medicine for the heart. And here's the beautiful part. Every positive step you take for yourself sends ripples to the people around you. Your spouse, your children, your friends, they see your actions and are inspired to take care of themselves too. You're not just adding days to your life, you're multiplying hope in the lives of others.